Especially, it kind of depends on the map as well. Which, speaking of which, we can get that up on screen now and see where exactly we're going to play for tonight. Decent map pull between these two, so it's kind of in the open in terms of where we could end up at. But let's take a look. Bank. Once again. So, total rematch, actually, between these two teams. Just bringing it back from next week. We'll see if Honor Among Thieves can improve that 7-2 scoreline they had from week 1, or if they can outright turn it back around and give themselves the win to push them into the conference qualifier against the Sonics next week.
So it's good for both sides at this point in time, okay? It's good for Dream Chasers because they have experience beating this roster on Bank. But also at the same time, Honor Amongst Thieves, they just watch them play Bank. They know all their setups. They know where the roamers like to go. They know all their tendencies. So they kind of, hopefully they've done their homework when they watched the first series today and know exactly what to expect in this matchup.
Yep, and obviously, again, this is a good chance for them to hopefully put some of the potential mistakes they might have made in the previous week into practice, and hopefully try to correct those going into this match.
Actually, let me correct myself. I apologize.
Go ahead.
I confused Constant and Bank, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wipe that off.
It's all good.
Wipe that off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But the other thing as well, this narrows the point home about Benji that I was talking about before, where on Clubhouse he was able to get relatively aggressive. Clubhouse is a big map. A lot of the map was generally left open to the attackers to roam around in. Don't think there's going to be that much freedom given to Benji here on Bank. So he's not going to be able to go as crazy. It will depend on the site. But he's not going to be able to go as crazy in these situations, meaning he's going to have to slow play. And we'll have to see if he's as comfortable being put into that type of a situation in comparison to the much more fast-paced play we were seeing from him on the last map on Clubhouse.
I agree, and the one thing that's going to be big about Honor Among Thieves is that they're going to have to value their time so much more, because how many rounds did it really come down to the final 10 seconds before anything ever happened? And they won just by a second, whether it was Benji's pistol kill with the Ash or just an overall clutch. They're going to have to be faster. They're going to have to move together as a unit to really take over this Dream Chasers roster, who I personally think is more well-rounded as a team on attack and defense.
All right, well, we'll see about that when we get into the match. Once again, though, folks, you've heard what we think. Now it's time to see what you folks at home thought about this matchup. The vote ends up favoring Honor Among Thieves over the Dream Chasers.
By a lot.
That's
a good amount.
Yeah.
Compared to every other poll we had today, this is probably the biggest differential that we've had so far.
A lot of hype behind the Honor Among Thieves roster, so we've got some relatively legendary names in the scope of any Rainbow Six Siege. A lot of players that are coming back for the first time. Benji, like you said, being the most notable of that. This is, and again, just to narrow this point home, this is the first competitive roster, which he only joined the roster at the beginning of this month. This is the first competitive roster he's played on since October. So to be able to come back and already have like a crazy match like we just saw from him on Clubhouse, not a bad start.
He hasn't taken a lot of time off in the spare time, probably.
No,
with a gun skill like that,
grinded.
the man's been playing. He's been grinding.
Yeah. Then on top of that, like we said before, you've got players like Billboard, who's coming in from the Sinister roster, who did play in the season of USN, but he didn't play in the finals for the eventual Sinister roster. And we have Prompted and Vaughn, who also played for the Obey Alliance roster that qualified for USN during Stage 3 last year. But again, if I'm not remembering the exact details correctly, but I believe the roster either broke up or something else happened in the way, and E-Gang ended up taking their place at the finals themselves. So good amount of roster, and then Flack being the kind of odd man out when it comes to USN here, having the least competitive experience out of the 4 players.
So another story to also take note on, their journey to get here to the finals. Dream Chasers, the last 2 maps, they're 14-1. One team's Organized Chaos, not a team that's really a pushover. So on their revenge tour to get to where exactly they believe they belong, Dream Chasers, they're gonna go face to face with Honor Among Thieves to win this final matchup of the day.
Let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen. It's our last match of the day. Let's take a look at the bands. They're going to be shown up on screen. I think we got the first one already ready to show. It's going to be Habana getting knocked out here relatively early on, taking out one of the 2 primary hard breachers. Technically 3 if you count Maverick, but semantics.
It's pretty big. We all know that Honor Among Thieves love their double hard breach setup. But Glass also banned, not a surprise. He's a powerful operator. Able to see through the smokes and get a lot of quick, sneaky picks.
The Habana ban, again, primarily, I think, being for basement plays. Basically limiting your choice to either, multiple hatches or just one hatch and a wall coming in from... Because, unfortunately, like the server approach is still, like, the only generally valid way to attack that site amongst opinions of the pro scene. So it's going to limit your choice in that respect. Mira, of course, being the ban to try and counter that out, on top of the standard Maestro and/or Echo ban, with, in this case, it being Maestro.
So, Mira, Maestro being banned on defense, leaving Echo, one of the strongest defensive operators left in the game, Let's go ahead and see what the operators are going to jump on. And immediately, you see Lockers in CCTV room accompanied with my man Filthy on one of his favorite operators, Pulse. We all know what Filthy's capable of. He's going to be extremely important for his team. And Affected is going to be the anchor on this roster with Echo, Cookies on Smoke, and Kaid for Cloudstruck.
And the Kaid being able to help out quite a bit. It's going to be interesting to see the change-up again that Kaid brings to the table to this matchup on Bank. With him obviously being the newest operator to be thrown into the pro pool here after a little bit of a trial period among just the standard gameplay. Obviously, it's a little bit more hatch style. However, Thatcher still being a pretty immediate counter to that. More than anything, it just kind of eats up additional Thatcher grenades earlier on in the game and opens up the potential for the possibility of more denial on the walls as well, especially when you get down into the inside of server. But we'll see that attack being worked here in just a moment. Once again, leaving a little bit of room, a little bit of reinforcements over here by Tellers as well, just so that if the defenders want to try and get aggressive with the roaming presence on the first floor, they don't have to worry about being isolated out through the soft wall, which will just reinforce there. Again, all hatches will obviously go and be reinforced, and that'll be the emphasis on the attackers to try and get access to the downstairs portion. And here we go, folks. Honor Among Thieves will be let out of their cage in just a second onto the board. We'll see how this first round goes.
I really want to see how Dream Chasers are going to be in regards to roaming, okay? You're going to have to be really cognizant about what's happening in the open area. Also, admin office. The hatches are going to lead down, and it's going to make it a pain to defend if you're on Dream Chaser. So immediately, Benji with the IQ. Great pick knowing that the Echo is going to be out there with 2 Yokai drones. You're going to find him in the Skylight Stairwell. So, the few charges set up, they're going to be able to get nice angles going into server stairs.
So it's going to be a little bit of effort to make their way through. There's the Electro Claw to try and deny access to this hatch, and the immediate throwdown of the Thermite Grenade to get rid of that. Pretty much perfect prediction there for Billboard to see that that was going to come. Not really a whole lot of presence here on the server stairs to try and deny presence to it, so Honor Among Thieves, at least on getting access to the door, it's going to be a pretty easy time for them. They're not going to have to worry about any aggressive push coming out from Dream Chasers. Normally you see like a Jaeger or another aggressive roamer holding on to this, but he's actually sitting way further back behind the server rack itself.
It's also great to notice that Kaid also has 1 charge left to him, even though Hibana has been banned. Maverick, the silent heart breacher, he's going to go ahead and open up some hatches on his own. So immediately, you see Honor Among Thieves working fast to get down here towards server and apply pressure in CCTV.
This one Yokai drone has been spotted out by the IQ as well when we flashed by her a moment ago, so they might be able to take that out as they work their way into the room. At the same time, it could also get in the way if they make a push, as Nightmare is set up specifically to stop this. You can see, trying to time his peaks perfectly, and you can see that Yokai drone just to his right now. Like we said before, IQ knows it's here. So at the moment, the discussion on Honor Among Thieves is probably, okay, how do we get in here, deal with the Yokai drone, and also take out Nightmare? Oh, okay,
wow.
There's the answer.
Okay.
As Prompted's going to have a very well-timed nade that just deletes Nightmare from existence.
There's no need to overextend right now as Benji is able to get the kill on Cloudstruck, leaving things in Honor Among Thieves' hand as the attackers. But Filthy, able to get 1 heartbeat detected. He's going to be able to give out some intel, and immediately you see Affected going for the headshot. Great information being given. So now 2 players left on his pulse scanner. You see Dream Chaser still holding strong. Yokai still in play. Pulse alive, and also Smoke. It's going to be big, but the diffuser is going down. He's going to have to act fast. There goes the gas canister.
Too late.
But it's not going to stop him. The diffuser's going to...
Oh, no, he got him.
He gets him. Literally less than a second left. The Cookies goes down.
Cookies missed timing his plant by just a second there, I think. Even I thought it was a little bit too late to throw the gas grenade in, but no, didn't end up being the case. So they make it work. Billboard, though, getting into a great position, suddenly stops the rotate working its way in from the inside of Lockers. Cookie is able to sneak through it on the second attempt. The plant does end up going down, and now it's all on the Echo as Vaughn has successfully knocked out Cookies.
So unfortunate, but Affected. I wonder how many Yokai drones still has available, but caught up in a 1v1. Vaughn gets headshotted, but Billboard comes in with the trade. Affected goes down, and that's the first round. Great play by Honor Among Thieves.
Great setup from them. Great immediate counter. They had seen that Yokai drone was going to be sitting in the corner. They had known that they were going to have to deal with the Jaeger sitting in the back corner. You know, a home run. I know we say Kobe often. I want to come up with a new one. A home run nade right there to be able to take out the player that was sitting behind it, take out Nightmare and give them easy access to server. And then the last minute rotate that came in there as well from Billboard to try and cut off the extra defensive rotations from the inside of lockers really just sealed the deal. They boxed them in, didn't give them any room to maneuver, and quickly led to their eliminations. On top of course, the definitive 5v3 advantage they got right from the start. Big slip up from Dream Chasers.
Yeah.
They're going to have to correct that now.
Dream Chasers flirted with danger time and time again. We all saw Cookies get the last minute kill with the gas canister. Literally less than half of a second left. They would have killed the diffuser, but that was not enough. Billboard, Honor Among Thieves, he openly admitted that on defense last series, they weren't as good as they wanted to be. But it's starting off on attack now. This is their stronger side. If they can go ahead, gain some momentum coming into this and pick up way more rounds in the first half of this map, they're going to be in a pretty good spot. But Dream Chasers, they cannot afford to lose close rounds like that. It's not acceptable. You're in the finals now.
Not acceptable at all. This could be the problem surfacing from the easy win they got in their previous matchup. It's going to take them a minute, potentially, to get themselves warmed up after they had a relatively easy time of closing out on their semifinal matchup.
So once again, we see the bomb site, the same place, and we're going to see Benji pretty much go through the same rotation that he did the very last time. He's going to take out the default cam, the stairwell highlight, and he's going to go ahead and move down. He's going to look for yokai drones. They're going to look for roamers and work their way all the way down towards server. They're going to attack CCTV. But prompted, he's going to bring in a sledge and make an opening for Benji to look down towards blue stairs. Going to make sure nobody's there to stop the push. Open area currently being droned out. There's not a lot of roam presence right now from Dream Chasers.
Grenade to attempt to deny the electrical, and it works out well. The electrical basically gets wasted as it's thrown probably into the void. Sometimes the explosion happens just a moment after he throws it. So they get that hatch open relatively easily. Server is now open to the attackers here if they want to move in.
But there's one roamer in the server area. They saw him when they were scanning with their drones. The sledge is now moving in, and Nightmare, he's going to hold strong. He's not going to run into CCTV just yet. But with the post in play, the intel is going to be gathered. There's two players coming down from blue stairs.
First aid unsuccessful. Second one, though, might be a home run. There you go. 2 for 2 from Prompted there. Granted, it did have to use the extra nade this time, but the damage is done regardless. Yokai giving them a lot of intel. And again, not being dealt with. IQ saw it on the last round.
Yeah.
Never dealt with it, to be fair. And this time, again, same thing. It's basically just left in the open. So I don't know if Benji's just not realizing that that's a yokai or something else, but yeah, I mean, it's literally sitting right next to IQ and has not been dealt with. So.
The kill on Jaeger was pretty unfortunate. Honor Among Thieves, they attacked it right. Dream Chasers, you see Filthy on post, he's over in Vault, and he's able to call out numbers whenever they come down those stairs, but it didn't matter anyways. So once again, Honor Among Thieves on top. 5v3, and the diffuser is currently being planted.
It's going to get denied once again, though, by a Toxic, but still with 45 seconds left and only one more gas grenade remaining. They're not going to be able to deny this forever. Someone's going to have to get close. They're going to have to try and line up a Nitro cell or use other methods in order to deny this. Keep in mind, they have the Yokais that could still be able to be utilized to deny this as well. Last gas grenade moves in. Should get Fleck. Oh, no, it was a little bit short, and he tried to peek it as well, meaning Prompted will take him out. The intel's still coming in from their pulse, but it won't matter. However, here's the counter. Billboard's going to try to go into the same position behind the armored truck. Should be countered this time. No! Woo! Actually takes out the Kaid as well. That is going to be another member of Dream Chasers going down, leaving only their pulse alive. Filthy, the last one standing, and not for long. Honor Among Thieves take a second consecutive round here in the basement and lead 2-0.
You were absolutely right about our conversation before we headed into this matchup. Honor Among Thieves on attack. They are so strong, and Dream Chasers, they're coming off a big cold. Maybe this could have been to the 7-0 that they had the very first series of the day. But one thing I want to point out, Filthy on pulse, he's doing his job. So, you know, no shade thrown his way. But as they're losing players earlier on in the game, that 4v5 is going to turn to a 3v5. Because Post is how to play. All he's doing is calling out numbers. So realistically, in the 3v4 situation, it's a 2v4. That makes things so much worse. You have a player out of play, entirely out of play, and once that third player died, he has to rotate all around to help out his teammates. By then, it's too late. The diffuser's down. There's nothing he can do, and that's absolutely it. So Dream Chasers still looking for a way to put a round on the board. You have Valkyrie in play along with Echo. You're going to be able to gather a ton of intel with your cameras if you're great with it. But the Echo play, it's been pretty decent so far. But you just need the rest of the team to stay alive long enough for him to really do what he has to do with the Yokai drone.
Yeah, and even better, Benji's like missing Yokai drones.
Yes!
That he is like he's scanning them, at least in the first round, he specifically scanned the drone, but is either not realizing that it is a Yokai drone or forgetting it later on the round. So despite the IQ presence, the drones are being positioned, but are just not being utilized, unfortunately.
No,
they're not being able to get their utility off as much as you would hope.
So with Yokai in play along with Castle, you see this office setup. It's going to be interesting to see how Honor Among Thieves will go ahead and attack the site. See Dream Chasers shy away from CCTV this round. Hopefully their defense is somewhat better here. But Benji's going to be on the roof scanning for Yokai drones and is able to find one of Valkyrie cams. That's going to be one of his main jobs right now in the first phase.
Hidden amongst the ferns, we'll take that out quickly. Sorry, the IQ proving useful here once again, as it's been a consistent force. The Ash, unfortunately, not making its appearance once again, at least not yet. Let's see for one round eventually here. The IQ being the choice for Benji in this map so far. Easy access to square, too, for Honor Among Thieves. Not much resistance for these guys taking it. Sometimes you might see one or two players holding in Stocks or Janitor, which is more so what Prompted is holding out to look for right now, but we actually don't have that presence, so we'll see. Oh my god! Prompted gets another one! Prompted is 3 for 3, by the way, on nade kills in every round.
It's insane. So now the doors, the reinforced walls will be breached over near Skylight Stairwell, leading right into the back end of CEO office. Still conference room, janitor closet, and executive lounge are currently being droned out. They're looking for roamers trying to pick off kills. And there you have it, Prompted getting a headshot. Billboard gets one of his own. The next thing, as you know, it's a 5v1. Make that a 4v1. It doesn't matter. Cookies will not clutch it. And attackers winning 3 rounds in a row.
I mean, had not really to do anything that time. They managed to get easy access to the site, and Dream Chasers just do the rest for them. They get hyper aggressive. They keep trying to peek them down the hallway, but they're literally just walking into Hat's crosshairs. It couldn't have been easier, really, for Honor Among Thieves. Even with the Echo, it's the second last alive, taking a peek down the hall, giving himself away. To be fair, I don't really know the status of his Yokai drone, so he might have kind of been out for those at that point, because I remember IQ is still in the play here. But yeah, basically just giving away those last few kills and making it a relatively easy task to close out in that third round. Great start here from Honor Among Thieves. This
awesome
is a
start.
Fantastic kickoff at minimum. And actually, this is an unorthodox pick right here. Staff and open area. Thought we were going to be keeping that Kapkan for a second. Might have had a bit of fun with that, but yeah, the expected result, the 6th pick, moves it away.
So Dream Chasers is pretty unfortunate because their presence within the bomb site is so strong, but they're getting picked first. Roaming presence isn't seen at all. And Honor Among Thieves are not worried about any type of flanks coming their way. All they have is one lane to go through, and that's pretty much it. Straight to the bomb site, and all they have to do is slay their way for the win. But with the reinforcements coming in, this open area setup is going to be extremely hard, especially with Mirror being banned. I actually ran through this site with you and Stokes last week, and Stokes said, yeah, this pick right here is not one that you want to go to at all.
No, and so assumably it'll be, I think Dream Chasers might be trying, if they have this set up for themselves and they have this kind of in their back pocket, this is them bringing it out right now and hoping that they can throw off Honor Among Thieves with this pick.
Yeah.
As this, if I remember correctly, to be fair, it's been all since I've looked at the stats, but this is by far the least picked site on this map and has remained so for a very, very long time.
One thing that's going to be important is that if you're guarding staff room in open area, you're going to have to watch Skylight Stairwell, staff room, and the hatch and janitor's closet. They're going to be able to jump in and do a lot of damage. Also, be aware of the roaming presence from up top if you're on the attacking team. That hasn't been a factor so far. You see them, Slash moving in with IQ. A great little duo in regards to looking for roamers. It's top floor. And Benji, he's going to see one.
He's got someone, so probably managed to catch a player on cameras a few moments ago. Oh, it's the drone Prompted, man!
What? Prompted with a great wall bait, getting a headshot, getting Cookies out of here.
Let's get another nade kill.
Valkyrie's gone.
Come on, you've gotten a nade kill in every single round so far. Let's see one more.
I believe in him.
You got the hole for it. It's obviously going to be a little bit subconscious because that hole's there for a reason. It is to try and trick back, so he doesn't want to over-peek it and potentially just have an impact hit him in the face.
It's so unfortunate. Cookies gets taken out early. Yeah, his camera's being taken out as well. They're easily spotted. Valkyrie is entirely out of play.
Cade's at like 30 HP. Oh, never mind.
There you go. Prompted, starting things off with the 2K now. A wall bang and a shot through the floor. Cloud struck. He is out the round. Honor Among Thieves starting hot, but one's gonna go down. It's gonna be Billboard. It's Filthy picks one up for his team with the visual play. Filthy's gonna jump all the way down to the first floor. He's gonna get out of there.
He's actually gonna go to the basement.
Yeah. It's gonna be good. If he's able to get a good flank, it's gonna help out his teammates a lot, because that's what they desperately need right now.
So the other problem for Filthy is they don't know exactly where he's gonna resurface at. He could come up main stairs, he could go back up server stairs.
Yeah.
You know, there's a few areas you could try to work this back towards. So they've got to be watching multiple areas now, and with only 4 players, they may not have the resources to commit to that. So instead, they're gonna try to position drones, and this would probably be their best bet to try and counter him out. Either way, it's a huge obstacle to have to deal with, especially with only 50 seconds left in the round.
You still have an Echo in play. So you can make something happen with the slash easy. He's gonna be able to take down these castle barricades. So here in the open area, you're gonna have 2 players from Honor Among Thieves. Benji is gonna get a kill, but the trade is gonna come through. Filthy getting a double kill is Vigil. There you have it, a 2v1. Diffuser's down, and that's gonna be Yvonne's gonna get the ending headshot unaffected, and Attackers winning 4 rounds straight. Honor Among Thieves are on another level right now. They have the hot hand. Dream Chasers don't have an answer to anything at all. Heading in round 5.
A really good attempt from Filthy, to be fair, and to close that out with his rotation
That was a
eventually.
great attempt by Filthy.
Resurfacing through the main stairs. Just a second or two too late, though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
As he gets those kills basically right at the same time that the plant gets completed, ultimately his attempt to push in is made moot. If he gets that kill in time, though,
Yeah.
potentially could have won the round, because now they don't have a plant, and they probably don't have enough time to reattempt it without dropping down a hatch right into where he was positioned at. So literally like less than a second too late there, and that round would have gone the other direction.
Do you really want to put the round on the head of an orthodox visual play? Yes, he got out of danger after
Not consistently.
Not consistently, right.
But in that situation,
would have been
why
nice. You're right. But nonetheless, Filthy still had a great flank for his team, something that they've lacked this entire map. Has a huge play, he gets taken out, and next thing you know, Honor Among Thieves, they run away with the win. But once again, we're going down to basement. Seeing pretty much the same classes. Smoke, Pulse, and I'm hoping that with Pulse calling numbers, spreading intel about who's coming down server stairs, that players on Dream Chasers are able to stay alive long enough for that intel to even make a difference. But Prompted on top right now, 8 kills and 3 deaths. He has been the star for this team, Honor Among Thieves.
Yeah, and it's been, I mean, mainly his nades have just been incredibly on point. That last one was the first time he didn't get a kill with a frag grenade. On top of the fact that he's just incredibly smart with, like also the droning work in that last round from Honor Among Thieves was great. Just destroyed the second floor presence within like a minute or two into the round. So that's the big key area right here is Dream Chasers really, besides what we saw in the last round there from the Vigil, they really haven't had much success on the roaming game because it's been countered out so soon, and their advanced setups in the basement to attempt to stop these players from getting access to server room have just been dealt with within, you know, a few seconds of them being used every single time. So there hasn't been a whole lot of success at all from Dream Chasers on the early round, and it's making the mid and late round so much more difficult. And I mean, no change in the setup really from Dream Chasers as we go back to basement once again. Nightmare still in that same position. So they do have an ADS in his position this time. I think they had that there in previous rounds, but either way, yeah, with the hatch open, they can pop out one of them, and with just a few flashbangs, they can make the other one a moot point here. Now, to be fair, Prompted's probably going to whiff one. Being tossed back. There we go. It's going to get taken away. But if someone has flashbangs, they can knock out the other charge on that ADS, and he's still got 1 nade left.
Wondering, did Thermite actually get the hatch in the admin office? I see them in open area. If he's able to get that, that's going to be absolutely big. Yeah, there's no counter to it at all from Dream Chasers. Pretty much, yeah, it's going to be free roam for anybody who's a hard breacher on Honor Among Thieves. It's going to be Maverick and also Thermite. So there you have it. Maverick, he's going to go ahead and get... Oh, no! But laying down the server. The trade happens. Nightmare's able to get a kill, but he's going to get taken out immediately from a headshot.
It doesn't matter, yeah, as you said, because the trade happens pretty much immediately there. Ooh, nice spot on the black guy as well, hiding just below the desk. Will deny any of the intel coming out from them. Benji as well, still trying to make sure there is no additional utility found on the inside of this room. And Vaughn obviously does not have enough charge left to be able to actually break open the hole, but he can still put a pretty big dent in it more than anything.
This is upsetting. Look how long they've been in open area. They haven't had a challenge. There's been a player watching the flank for Maverick on Honor Among Thieves, and he hasn't even shot a single fire yet. Like, a single bullet yet. They're tunnel vision, and it's just going this one direction to plant the bomb and hoping that it works. But Dream Chasers.
Oh. Swapping mags.
Okay.
The Yokai pops out a little bit too soon there, right into the crosshairs.
See if the Yokai comes in big right here.
They can
pulse with the C4.
Here's the thing, though, for Dream Chasers, they can still win this just on denial alone.
They can.
Because they've got the Nitro Cell they can chuck in there on the next attempt. They've used the last Toxic, but here we go. Nitro Cell should kill this attempt. And there we go, gets the frag on top of it. They don't have any time left. They got to force the issue here now. Billboard picking up one, but Filthy, Flak trading blows all over the place. It comes down to Timer. They'll be able to force the plant, but unfortunately he can't let go of it. So Cookies gets the closeout. And finally, on the third basement attempt, Dream Chasers will get their very first defensive round.
Dream Chasers utilizing all of their resources to stop Honor Among Thieves to make a plant right there. Gas canisters, C4, great plays coming in from Pulse, which was Filthy. He got the entry kill on the guy that was setting the diffuser, which opened things up for Cookies and his gas canisters. So Dream Chasers finally on the board. Let's see if they can go ahead and keep things up. But we're gonna go to open area and staff room once again. Wasn't one of their better sites, but let's see if they learned from it. Echo, Vigil, Mute, Kaid, and Play, to name a few. If they're able to win another round here and come off strong on attack, which we've seen them do historically, they can mount a comeback against Honor Among Thieves, who struggled on defense today.
Struggled indeed, but if it ends up being a 5-1 lead for Honor, and they're able to, one, counter out the aggressive pressure early on, and two, get to the site as early as they had been in the majority of these previous rounds, with really the last one being the only exception. Honor Among Thieves will still be in a great position to close out with that definitive advantage, allowing them to only need 2 defensive rounds to win here. That basement should be one that, in theory, they should be able to close out on at least once. And it's just a matter of finding that second site that they would need to close out on to win here. So still rough territory that Dream Chasers are in, even with that first round that they just got.
You see Cookies on mute running around with the shotgun. I want to see him really hold down the base as an anchor this round. You see Castle Barricades going up. It's going to make things that much harder for Honor Among Thieves to get through. You don't have Ash. You don't have Sophia. But you do have a sledge. They're going to be able to stop that sledge from advancing. It's going to be big for Dream Chasers, but that's a huge if.
Dream Chasers, I've noticed as well, are getting a little bit more aggressive in the early run. I think that's great because that does counter what Honor Among Thieves likes to play into, which is their own style of kind of aggressive early around here. Yeah. So for instance, that like spam that came through the softball from the inside of the second floor room did a great job of dealing a pretty good amount of damage to their IQ. In fact, almost taking the IQ out early on here. And the same thing, again, clearly Cookies is the key player here in both instances. That picks it up. Benji, though, starts things off well for the Honor Among Thieves roster by eliminating the mute inside of Janitor and giving them a 5v4 advantage, though not a very strong one when you look at the HPs of Sledge and IQ.
But Cookies off site. He's going to get taken out. First player down. He's going to be the player on mute for Dream Chasers. So Honor Among Thieves on top right now, but 2 of their players, Sledge and IQ, extremely low health. They're still looking for roamers, working their way slowly into the bomb site. You see Flak roaming around, trying to gather some type of intel. There's still some roamers that they're trying to get rid of, which is why Nomad is going to be big. If you're going to go for the flank, you're going to get knocked right on your butt, which is why she is such a valuable character on big maps like this.
Got prompted with the Janitor hatch being popped open. Still need to work their way through a few of these other hatches. These are the more difficult ones because of the trick deniability due to soft destruction being around the other 2 hatches.
You go to stock and Janitor, you're going to be able to sledge right through those floors and shoot down into the bomb sites, which at this point, Dream Chasers, is going to be like shooting fish in a barrel.
Problem again, though, for Honor Among Thieves is the timing of this. Takes them a lot longer to clear out some of the early positions. Affected and Cloudstruck also picking up 2 kills out of absolutely nowhere. That throws the advantage back into Dream Chasers' favor here. It's not going to be much longer before they have complete control over the round. We've only got 30 seconds left for our attackers to find a way in. More importantly, find a way to get this diffuser onto the ground here.
See Flack moving around with Thermite, trying to look for a shot, but there's no outlines in front of him. But Billboard going into the 1v1, affected on Echo. Able to get the headshot. That's going to be 2 straight for Dream Chasers. Flack tries to clutch it up. He runs in, and Cloudstruck is going to send him back to the Shadow Run with that shot. Great plays. Things are starting to heat up now.
They get stopped at Elevator, and unfortunately that becomes the ultimate crux of the round, as it's too strong and too spread out of a defensive setup from Dream Chasers on open area for these guys to deal with. So they're able to do much better this time, deny the early aggression from Honor Among Thieves, and with that, obviously hold control of the site for much longer into the round, up until the very end, where they do get that second round and end the half 4-2.
So the first half is going to be over with. Now we're going to change sides. We're going to see Honor Among Thieves on defense this time around. Echo definitely chosen, we've seen that, but Montaigne is going to be picked for Dream Chasers. It's going to be interesting to see how he comes into play. We haven't seen him all day yet, and IQ has been chosen, obviously, for Pulse and Echo.
Montaigne moving in, and this, I believe, was basement, right? Or did we see another site?
I believe it's CO.
Oh, yeah, it's actually going to be CO. Apologies. Missed the operator select screen there. So, go to the second floor first. Either one basically being a valid choice. It's usually between that or the basement is the starting site choice for the defending side. So, Honor is going to once again choose to head to the upstairs first. We'll see how exactly Montaigne's going to be leveraged. Should allow for a much easier square control, or at minimum, much better intel to the inside of square before they end up committing anything to it. Hopefully, there is going to be any early aggression here from the Honor Among Thieves side, which we did see in their last matchup, some pretty aggressive roaming presence. We're able to force that back to the site a lot earlier on in the round.
There'll be no as Zofia or Slash get rid of these castle barricades as easy as we saw Honor Among Thieves do the very last round. But also, if you're on Executive Lounge, the CEO office, once again, make sure you watch out for the Skylight Stairwell. Repellers from Plaza could also be a major threat towards CEO office and the A site. But hard breacher is going to be key. If you're able to get the Thermite or any hard breacher out there to the back of CEO office, they will have entry towards the back side of that bomb site. So immediately, you see Nightmare. He's on Thermite. He's going to go to the roof and he's going to rotate over the Skylight Stairwell. They're going to make sure they clear out this area right now so they can get a breach towards the back side of the bomb. But first, some intel has to be gathered. So they're going to play it slow momentarily as Jackal runs around open area in office.
Phil, of course, just checking things out before they commit to anywhere, trying to see if there's any footsteps on the ground to examine. Not finding any, so safely assume at least this part. The first floor has been relatively cleared out. So with 2 minutes to go, though, a lot more roaming presence is going to be utilized. And it's not actually a correct square push these guys will go for at the start. Montaigne, affected, is instead pushing his way directly in through the front office of the bank. He's going to work his way up the spiral.
Jackal's going to find out immediately, which is going to be filthy, that there's going to be no roamers. All 5 players are going to be there on the second floor, only 1 player off site. You see him. It's going to be Jaeger. He's going to have to put in a lot of damage, and he knows the Montaigne is there, but the intel has been gathered. You see Cloud and Cookies currently backing up affected.
It's going to take 5 nades to knock Benji out of position from the inside of the elevator, too.
It's chestnut checkers.
Unfortunately, Montaigne can't push forward. If he moves up to elevator, he's pinched. He's going to get pushed from opposite sides, and it's pretty much instant death for him. So they have to try and find a better way to counter this, or he's going to have to go directly into the site. See, I didn't even notice this. Yokai also set up right above him. He's going to be able to stun him out here, forcing him back. Filthy strikes first for Dream. Oh,
okay.
Goodness. Walks his way up main stairs, just gets a double kill, double headshots as well, before finally over-aggressing and falling to Billboard.
And the hot hand continues, but we saw the Yokai drone being put into play right now, gathering intel, but let's see if they can stun a player or two. This Castle's trying his hardest to hold people back from Banana, but Cloudstruck able to get a nice headshot after utilizing that blowtorch to create a line of sight through the castle wall. But he's going to drop down and prompt it. He's going to finish off the trade.
A little bit too aggressive, unfortunately, from Cloudstruck. Thinking with the man advantage, they might have been able to leverage that, and they very much probably still can. Bit of a
oh
no!
My God!
They sacrificed the Montaigne to get a kill. As they do end up seeing it brought down to just 1 player. It's all unprompted now. Cookies will go for the plant. will get this without any issue whatsoever. The nitro cell we talked about before has already been used, so can't immediately deny this. He should have a good idea about where it's been planted based off the ping he got right there. Now the issue becomes, all right, now I've got to get myself into position. I don't know what to expect because I wouldn't have had time to scan this out. Ferry can still stop right here and try to scan, but he's not doing it. He's moved his way into conference. There we go. Now that he's up against the hard wall, he will try to find no intel being presented to him whatsoever here. Drone finding him out as well. Doesn't even know where to look. Nightmare picks him off, and it's Dream Chasers that take the first attacking round and set them up at 5 rounds of an advantage.
Lack of intel and lack of numbers. Dream Chasers back on the board, baby. Almost bringing things back. They have a hot hand, currently winning a few rounds in a row. At first, it looked like Honor Among Thieves were going to run away with it. But then Dream Chasers finally started to pick things up. Let's see if they can continue this winning streak right now. But IQ chosen once again. She's going to be a staple in this matchup. As you see, she is an excellent counter for Pulse and Echo. But with this going to lockers and CCTV, that Pulse has been switched out for Vigil. So let's see if Prompted can be a nuisance in open area, first floor, and also server room.
So with Dream Chasers taking control. Now bring the scoreline up to 4-3, and we'll see them start to push back into the leading position now. An advantage going into their direction here. A good start on the attack. They'll be able to build upon that. Of course, Honor Among Thieves in the meanwhile. They are also going to be forced to change up their site as well. So they're going to swing down to the basement and try to play from here.
Maverick's going to be extremely valuable once you go into server room, because if mute charges are placed by the wall coming in from server room, heading into CCTV, he'll be able to go ahead and get rid of those plants right there sitting with disruptors, and they'll be able to try to sneak in the diffuser. And there you have it. Billboard is going to place the signal disruptor right there, hoping that Dream Chasers don't find it early. But Honor Among Thieves now, they were in the lead by a lot of rounds, but their backs are starting to be put against the wall just a little bit. Dream Chasers forcing their hand. 3-4.
And now it's about building up from here. A good start from Dream Chasers. Honor Among Thieves nearly coming out with a clutch at the end of the day, but just not able to close out the 1v2. And of course, the mistake made in the 2v2 to get the team kill off in order to knock out the Montaigne, unfortunately, ends up setting them back even further. Just too much of a chaotic situation for our last man standing on Honor Among Thieves to walk into there. So he ends up just not having the intel necessary, despite it being Pulse, ironically enough as that is. And as such, ends up dropping the round there.
Filthy's moving into garage, and immediately he saw a yokai drone moving around, so gathering intel of his own with his own drone, he's able to push back Echo. But now he's currently looking for one of the yokais. He doesn't have IQ with him. It's going to be extremely hard to find out where it is exactly. So he's pretty much in a tough spot. You see two players currently defending the loading docks area. So if he wants to swing around the ambulance and tries to make a move, he's going to die immediately. And immediately, yokai drone comes into effect. His vision has been disoriented momentarily, but Flak isn't going to be able to finish the kill.
It's a pretty long disorientation period, too. You can slow it down by stopping, or speed it up, I should say, but
he can't land a shot.
That's gotta be frustrating, because it's still hitting him, too. I think he's actually spammed him again since then. So he can try to hit him one more time. He's still hit by it as well. He found,
he's almost there.
Oh, he missed! The car got just in the way, so the yokai drones moved. This is a lot to focus on, to be fair, for the player on the attacking side of this.
You have to focus on the yokai drone and also Echo shooting at you. You're in such a tough spot, and you don't have a counter against Flak. So still, this fight is still going on. This is amazing, but the advancement is coming through. Jackal.
Oh, come on.
Jackal gets stunned, runs back, and Flak finally gets him out the way. 5v4.
Meanwhile, a lot of time has been wasted, but a lot of progress has been made by Dream Chasers on the other end of the equation. They've been able to break open the walls, they got server access, and they're ready at a moment's notice to try and go for the plant. Now, to be fair, on the defensive side of this, you still have Smoke. More than likely has the majority of his toxic waves ready to go, I would guess. Also, you still have this Nitro Cell ready to be tossed out. This is still a tough ask for Dream Chasers, despite only losing one player in this point.
The yokai drone isn't going to have a lot of effect on CCTV, knowing that IQ is there, but the diffuser is currently going down, and his Nitro Cell gets the double kill. Billboard going big, and with the flank, you see Cookies utilizing IQ able to get a kill. The diffuser has to go down, 1 second left to go, and defenders win round number 8. And there you have it.
Honor Among Thieves will take control of it, and it ends up swinging into their direction. Now they get up to 5 rounds. I think we miscalled on the last round, so apologies for that. But Honor Among Thieves will now push ahead. The definitive advantage going back into their favor and putting them into position. Only 2 more rounds needed to get the closeout and take control over the map.
All right, Tellers and Archives. Let's see if Honor Among Thieves can pick up a little streak of their own. We saw them lose, I believe, 4 straight against Dream Chasers. Let's see if they could have a streak of their own to close out this map. 2 more rounds to go if they want to win the final match of the day here in the Eastern Conference. So Flag currently switching the dock from Echo. They're going to be in Teller's office and Archives. Interesting pick, to be quite honest.
So not too crazy getting rid of the Echo for this round specifically, simply because when it comes down, there's not really a whole lot of room, in my opinion anyway, for off-site Echo play to where the Yokai would be able to be used at like a last second to save the round. If he's going to be close to the site, he'd be in a relatively exposed area like Elevator or something like that, so there isn't really a position for him to play into. So this is the site, and I think out of all of them, where you would choose to kind of ditch the Echo.
All right, so you don't see a smoke, you don't see an Echo. Doc definitely in play. So let's see if Dream Chasers can string together a few more wins. Maverick and Thermite gonna be huge for this push right here, but they're gonna have to make sure that they get rid of the roamers here on the second floor. You see Alibi immediately going to the second floor along with the Visual. These 2 roamers are gonna do their best to make sure that they stall Dream Chasers long enough to get the win.
And they did a good job of that in the last round more than anything here. Granted, we didn't get to see a whole lot of play that happened over towards the server side as we were watching that crazy Echo versus Jackal duel that took like eons to come to a conclusion.
That was actually fun. It took way too long to kill Jackal, though.
Echo's got to hit up the DMs a little bit. You know?
The man is blind and he still can't hit the headshot on him.
He's got to work on the headshots a little bit there, yeah. But still ended up closing out the duel. As unfortunately, yeah, Jackal just had like way too much to focus on in that duel. Not really any flack, I should say, towards the Jackal player himself.
So immediately we see Filthy and Maverick coming to Skylight Stairwell. They're going to look towards the Andrew office and also Stock. They're going to have to clear out these areas before they move down towards Archives and Tellers. But looking for a little wall bang. Cloudstruck not able to get lucky at all. It's not able to find a kill. But they're highly aware that 2 players are up there in the Jackal. He's going to point one out, and Cookies is going to get the opening kill as the trade comes through, and Cloudstruck goes down.
Oh, Benji making the wild... How did he even get out here? Through the windows upstairs, I'm going to guess?
How long did that take? And he didn't notice that was happening.
Right by Filthy, I would assume. Yep, makes the jump out there. Nightmare finds the trade. Problem is, though, it's going to take him a very long time to get back over to the inside of the site now, where he's going to be in a good position to work off of something. But looks like he's already made most of the run back pretty easily. Has got himself a position back on the main stairs. However, with all this craziness happening, seemingly to put it into the favor of Honor Among Thieves, it's only served to equalize the round.
Yeah.
To a 3v3.
This round, we've seen more slaying within the first minute than we have the entire day. Both teams gunning for that top spot. But with the IQ play in the Executive Lounge, she's... There it goes, trying to get the mute jammer out the way. So there you have it, making things easier to drone in and gather enough intel. Less than a minute left. More than enough time to gather intel and make your final push. But they're going to have to be valuable with these last 40 seconds.
Nightmare's going to pop open one of the upstairs hatches, give them a little bit more room. More importantly, kind of make Honor Among Thieves a tad more nervous about their situation from that hatch, despite actually not having presence on it. Oh, Prompted seemingly ready for the push. It doesn't matter. Filthy takes him out anyway. But Vaughn's going to leverage some aggression, takes out one, nearly gets himself. In fact, he does get a second one over. The M to pick up the actual frag, though, as he takes out another player. However, he's lost his teammate, 15 seconds left, and he doesn't have a whole lot of HP to play off either, but neither does Filthy. Moves out, makes the push known by audio, and as such, Vaughn will have a massive triple kill to close out the round and push Honor Among Thieves further and further ahead.
Vaughn with less than 25 health left to go, able to get the 2K, and in the 1v1, the spray from the SMG-11 was all he needed to put his team on top. 1 round away, Honor Among Thieves looking to put this game to bed, but Dream Chasers, they're going to need to answer right here, right now. Bomb site's going to be Executive Lounge, the CEO office. Post is going to be picked by Prompted. He's going to be big, but also Echo is coming back into play. It's going to be up to Cookies to make sure that he calls out intel for all of his teammates to make their jobs that much easier because, Valkyrie's going to come into play, so still IQ is going to be big.
So once again, ditching the Echo honestly would have been much more useful here, but the same kind of strategy or the same philosophy overall applies in that there's just not a whole lot of room for him to play into something late round if it was going to be at his most useful point, which is that off-site last-second Yokai pop, which actually saves the round. We already saw that happen once last week with one of our clips of the week, by the way. If you guys want to go ahead and check out our show Inside the USN, you can go ahead and see how useful it can be. Our top 5 clips we had there.
I'm sorry, but Dream Chasers, they threw that. Vaughn, his clutch was so big. They did everything right. IQ play was getting ready to mute jammers. They were joining around, had all the intel they possibly needed. The only thing they actually needed was to win their gunfights. But, in came Vaughn and, Superman saved the day. So this is it. They have to be perfect. They cannot afford to lose any type of rounds at all. But Pulse immediately is going for the spawn kill, and Prompted is going to die.
Little aggressive.
There's some style points for that. He tried to make it happen.
He almost won. Look, he got him at like 50 HP.
Wow. But he wasn't successful, so there you go. Pulse off the board. One of the most important ops in the game if you're on the defending side.
Which that is, like, crazy that they would send the Pulse out as well. An operator that can give the team so much intel. Like, to be fair, there wouldn't be really anyone else they'd try that with except maybe like the Jaeger, but still, nearly getting it, but wasting not only the utility that the heartbeat scanner provides, but that's a nitro cell gone early on from the round as well, which could have proved incredibly useful in the late round.
I mean, I would expect that with the Doc. I would expect that with somebody with an 8-cog. I wouldn't run out there with Pulse and try to have that type of gunfight. But he paid for it. So Dream Chasers, they're going to be at 1 player right now. Jackal, less than half of his health.
Ready to torch.
They have to be perfect still. 1 minute and 54 seconds left on the clock. Jackal, able to sniff out some footsteps, so some intel has been gathered, but not too much so far. The drone play hasn't been heavy.
Got Billboard. He knows he's got a player on the roof nearby. Isn't able to find the spot on it just yet. So he's going to be cautious about peeking that window from this point forward. He's ready for it, though. He's ready to take that duel if the timing allows it to happen. Benji the Jaeger, in the meanwhile, in position inside of the elevator. Same position we saw him play in before. So once again, Honor Among Thieves find themselves disadvantaged in trying to play into CEO. So far, the only site that Dream Chasers had success on for their attack.
So CloudShock trying to get lucky with a few wall bangs and able to find the roamer up top in Executive. But on board with Vaughn, the guy who saved last round, huge 1v3, Dream Chasers. They have to go in, less than a minute left. Drone work coming through, and there you have it. Nightmare able to pick up another kill, 3v5. Dream Chasers getting closer and closer to catching up, but with Billboard's nade, CloudStruck, he's out the picture. And Vaughn evening the odds, getting an SMG headshot, 3v3.
Vaughn up on the big table there. Makes himself taller so we can peek over the top and picks up the kill. Filthy getting dropped as well. Granted, not the full kill just yet, but Vaughn finishes that off once again. Cheeky little shotgun switch finishes it off. However, they still have access to CEO. They'll walk it. They'll attempt to go for the plant. We've got rotates coming back around. Flak denying it. Affected with an immediate trade, though. Puts it into a 2v1, but it's advantage to the defenders. Affected, the last one alive, but it won't matter. Flak completes the rotate, takes him down, and ultimately Honor Among Thieves get their revenge from last week, pushing Dream Chasers out of the bracket for a second week in a row and pushing them into the East Coast Stage 1 Conference qualifiers against the Susquehanna Sonics next Thursday.
That's so unfortunate. If you're on Dream Chasers, it has to hit you a different type of way. You come in here last Thursday, you lose Organized Chaos, you finally get your revenge, you destroy Organized Chaos, just to lose in the finals the way you did against Honor Among Thieves. But huge clutches all around from Vaughn. Vaughn was the man the last 2 rounds, okay? The 1v3, the clutch it up. And then the 2K last round, open things up big time for Honor Among Thieves.
Yeah, really great stuff from them. A much more solid defensive setup this time around, too, in comparison to what we saw back on Clubhouse, where there was a few mistakes. And to be fair, there was still a few mistakes being made, but they were able to leverage that fact. It's a lot more trade-heavy, ultimately. Pretty chaotic rounds happening between these two teams. And a lot of rounds where it ultimately came down to kind of just the individual game sense and overall aim capability between these players, because things were happening just all over the place.
It was just the confidence in gunfights, in my opinion. How many times we see Honor Among Thieves run out there with the visual, and even the unsuccessful run out with Pulse, they still felt confident enough to get early kills like that and risk it in order to get the biscuit, the easy headshots and whatnot. Because the visual jump out in Plaza was insane. I didn't expect that at all, and they still made it work.
Also, just the legitimate counters to the setups, as if we go back to Honor Among Thieves' attacking side, the legitimate counters to every single setup that we were seeing was some great stuff from Honor Among Thieves. Really did not leave the players, on Dream Chasers with a lot of recourse, especially in the basement, right? With how the amount of nade kills we were seeing from their sledge early on to counter out server control, and how they basically just walked in, and since they were able to get access to servers so early, they had no problem waiting out the timing on the smoke gas grenades, had no time dealing with any nitro cells once again, because there was just so much time left on the clock for them to play into, and it worked out great for them because it all was built on top of those early kills, and they got obviously such a big advantage in the first half. To be fair, could have been a little bit better, could have had the 5-1 at the end of the day, still only ended up with a 4-2. We saw a little bit of a recovery from Dream Chasers at the end, but not enough to close the match out in their favor. And as such, with Honor Among Thieves winning another match, we got another interview with them, so we'll take it over to Veli, who's going to be interviewing our winners.
All right, I have no idea who I'm interviewing yet, but I'm really excited to talk to this team. So coming up, it's going to be Billboard once again. What's up, man? Congratulations. So after winning a game like that, we're going to see you next time going against Sonics. Okay, do you have a lot of history going against Sonics? And if so, how's it turned out? Has it been in your favor?
This team personally, not necessarily. We've, scrimmed them before, so we kind of are both familiar with each other.
Right.
So it'll be a really interesting match going into next week where we play for the land spot. I know, we're just super excited. The bans for our game went perfectly. We played Bank before against Dream Chasers previously, and they knocked us out. But we knew exactly what they were doing and exactly what we needed to fix, because everything we lost to in the previous game was on our own fruition. So we fixed everything, and we came out with a clean win.
It's always a team effort, as I like to believe, at all times. But you're going to have to give shine to one of your teammates. Vaughn went absolutely off in those clutches. To you, what makes him such a great player for that specific role on your team?
Well, we used to have Vaughn on the Maestro Echo role, those type of roles. And when I first joined the team, that's kind of where it was. And we did some role swaps around. We kind of found that putting him on the SMG-11 shotgun type roles, so mute and smoke, was really good. We found him good in clutch scenarios when he was on Maestro before. So putting him in an op that's even more clutch is perfect for what we needed. And yeah, he's been working really hard in those roles, and so I'm just really proud of him. I'm glad he was able to pull us some rounds.
He definitely put on his big boy pants right there with those clutches. But the last question of the day, you guys are going to go against Sonic, so you have some ex-pro players on that team, people who've been on the big stage plenty of times. Why do you believe that your team has a legit shot at beating them to make it to land?
Well, I think our playstyle counters theirs directly. Our playstyle, before I joined the team, it used to be very similar to Sonic's, a very rudimentary take this, take that type of setup, and not much, I guess, risk involved, if you would say. But we've learned to become, more aggressive, and Sonic's has a hard time dealing with that. So hopefully we can balance that enough to the point where we can take that victory.
I said before the game started that I'll see you after the finals. You made it all the way here, so I'm happy you took your time out to do this with me once more. Any last words you want to say to the chat before you go?
Thank you for everyone who supports us. It's been great. We were honestly surprised after we beat DZ a bit, and we kind of knew that we had a very strong shot. So hopefully you guys are rooting for us to get the land spot, but good luck to Sonics next week, and may the best team win.
Congratulations on your success, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.